Live from the City of Angels here on this Sunday morning, you are watching MMM, Midnight Movie Money, here on Midnight Movie Talk. And we have a massive outperform this weekend as you look at the email directly from Warner Brothers here on this Sunday. Thanks for joining us live on X and on YouTube. Look at this, $83 million domestic debut, international 104. You're talking about a bigger international take. This is what you want to see because the international markets, when they come in big, should be larger than the States. We don't see that always. We see it here this weekend, and you look at this $187 million. This is definitely not the last time that we visit the Conjuring universe. No chance. Not after this. I mean, this is a film that was expected to debut worldwide about 80 million, maybe 90. Not 187. We have doubled the projection. Now, why did that happen? We talk about it all the time. It's called the wave theory, right? When there has not been anything in the marketplace of significance in weeks, which there has not, you are going to benefit as the next film up because people have been sitting it out. Now, granted, yes, there's also a built-in audience for Conjuring and Annabelle, the entire universe, but it also do not underplay and discount the significance of nothing and then something. That is what Warner Brothers benefited on enormously this weekend. The third largest horror opening of all time domestically, the second largest globally. You look at this thing, again, at $187 million. The Conjuring is now the largest horror opening of all time internationally, surpassing It Chapter 2. That's interesting. They just said it's second largest. Now it says it's the largest. All right, whatever. We'll go with whatever Warner Brothers wants to do here in this email. Warner Brothers, number one domestic, international, and global market share. As you look, they've had just a hell of a great 2025. If you go back to the beginning of 2025, though, remember Mickey 17. You talk about 8 number one films for Warner Brothers of 2025. The one that did not get to 40 million, only 19 million, Mickey 17. And when Mickey 17 rolled out, which is, by the way, the worst film of the year, okay? It's been a bad year. There's been some really awful films. Mickey 17 is a whole nother level. That takes Bong into another dimension as far as how far that man fell with the release of Mickey 17. An unwatchable film, okay? So they were talking, hey, we got to get rid of these co-heads over at the Warner Brothers film unit because this is bad. And then came Minecraft and Sinners, and now we know the rest of the year, you look at an F1 that was an Apple partnership because Apple's primarily the owner of that film. But either way, that is a hellaciously great 2025 for Warner Brothers. In fact, look here, let's just do the stats and we'll get back to The Conjuring and talk about exactly all of the details, the theaters that did well, the demos, all of that momentarily. Here's your box office stats. 8 films opening number one, more than any other studio this year. Total of 14 weekends at number one, more than any studio in 2025. 7 straight film openings over 40 million, a first for any studio. Again, throw out Mickey 17. And since then, it's been lights out for Warner Brothers. 3 films in the top 5 domestically, 6 in the top 15. 3 films in the top 10 internationally, 5 in the top 15, and 3 films in the top 10 globally, 6 in the top 15. Total of 15 weekends at number one globally. Warner Brothers has now 50% of IMAX gross year to date. This is a good year. Just down the street here on Olive Ave, where I'm broadcasting this morning in Burbank, California. Back to the email from Warner Brothers and break this thing down. It's the 8th, as we mentioned, number one opening this year. It only has a 56% on Rotten Tomatoes. No surprise, I do not like this film. I fell asleep nearly. It's just commercial, sanitized horror. But doesn't matter, man. At the end of the day, you liked it. A lot of people went to the movie theaters. We need to celebrate that aspect. Forget my personal view of the film. The fact that movie theaters have people at them is what we should be talking about. Premium formats, 39% of the business this weekend. That's PLF. That's the Dolby, the IMAX, the RPX, 40X, all that stuff, right? So that was a nice take again, proving the importance of all of those formats into the overall box office of a given film. Top 10 locations overall. My home theater, where I supported it this weekend, AMC Burbank. Number 2, AMC Mesquite, Dallas. Number 3, Regal River Park, Fresno. 4, Regal Times Square in New York. 5, Regal Edwards Marquee, Houston. 6, Cinemark, 17, Dallas. Harkins Estrella Falls, Phoenix is 7. 8, Regal Edwards Southgate, LA. AMC Universal right down the street here in LA, number 9. And number 10, Harkins Mountain Grove in LA. LA huge, number 1 DMA, obviously. New York 2, Dallas 3, Houston 4, Chicago 5. So you look at a very, very strong debut. I mean, this is crazy, right? 83 million is so far above and beyond what anyone expected from this film. International highlights. You can see biggest industry horror opening weekend of all time in 17 markets, including Spain, Poland, Norway, Brazil, Colombia, and Chile. Biggest Warner Brothers opening weekend ever in India. India was massive for this film. Ranked the number 1 U.S. title in all 66 opening markets. So all of this is really, really great for Warner Brothers here on this Sunday morning. Again, thanks for being here as we continue along and look at the rest of the weekend. I just want to stick with Warner Brothers because at this point, there's no reason to go anywhere else when we start talking about a Weapons as your number 3 film. Number 2 is Hamilton. We'll get to that in a second. But you look at Weapons down another 49%. Most importantly, you guys can see right here, the worldwide cume now is at $251 million. So we've passed $250 million. This is a $38 million film. That means we have made a ton of cash, right? Typically, we're looking at profitability at 2.5x. That means 38 times 2.5, which is roughly 100 million, right? Somewhere in that ballpark. So now we are at 150-ish million dollars plus in pure profit for this film. Again, a film that I'm not in love with. Go back and watch my reaction stream, but it doesn't matter. 250 million, 2 horror films. Horror, man, you wonder why we get so many horror films. Because when they hit, and they make money because they don't cost that much money to produce. And that is the key, right? You talk about a Superman at 200 million, an F1 200 million. You have to get up to somewhere of 500, 600 million to be profitable. For a horror film, you come in with like a $15 million budget. You look at it, Terrifier. How much money that series has made? That's exactly what you're hoping for. Now, granted, some horror films just don't do all that big a business. But again, because that profit margin, because that number, that budget's so low, you don't have a very high bar to cross to get to profitability. I just think the problem becomes when we start getting too many. And, look at The Conjuring. Go back and watch my reaction. This is not a great film, man. There's no scares in this film. We're trying to rip Annabelle with the clown, the toy, the other doll. It's not a good film. It's just not, man. You guys, even if your expectations are low, I mean, I ended the stream early on Thursday because this is just, but the problem is, man, this is what we get more of because you all go out and support it at 83 million. I'm excited for that, but I'm not excited to talk about another Conjuring movie if this is what we get. I want to watch something cool and actually scary. Give me something that I haven't seen before, but you all want to watch the same shit over and over. Superman. Let's talk about Superman and F1, y'all. You want to do that? Because guess who was right? You know it. I've talked about it how many times? I'll do it again. I said F1 would beat Superman at the global box office, and this is now over because it's done. We're not going to talk about this anymore. The ace is the man. Give me a like. Give me a love. Let's just go to loves because that's how great this is. That's how great this prediction was. 614.1 million on Superman, and we scroll down to F1, 619.5. That means the champion resides here. I'm going to celebrate with my Emmy here on this Sunday morning. Yes, I have an Emmy in your face. Last week's Weirdo of the Week. I have one, you don't. That is a win for me. All right, let's continue. Hamilton at 10 million. and you look at a film that was on Disney Plus. So look, this is free cash for Disney. I don't want to see it's 3 hours. Okay. I've seen the play. Do I really want to sit through 3 hours? No, I don't. I'm now at the point where if a movie has a runtime of 2 hours plus, I'm like, maybe I'm gonna, unless this is great. And a perfect example of this is the new Apple Films A24 hybrid, highest to lowest from Spike Lee. We will just about, I don't know how brutalizing this is going to get tonight, but when we get to the MMT evaluation of highest to lowest, be ready. Get out the popcorn. We are going to savage Spike Lee's latest, because there is no universe in which this is a good film. And the fact that some people recommend it, dudes, I'm telling you, man, this space is profuse with some clueless sons of bitches. Okay? That's as kind as I can put it, and that wasn't very kind. So I don't know what to tell you. Freakier Friday, 3.8 million. Caught stealing at 3.2 million to round out the top 5. So obviously, back to our top story, the big winner here this weekend is Conjuring, as I pop it back up and you see it at 187, which is just out of control. Just, inconceivable, really, when you think about how big that film was versus what we kind of expected from it. But again, you cannot discount the importance of next film up after a wave of nothingness is going to win. And that's exactly what happened here this weekend. Top 10. Let's do it here on this Sunday, and then we're rolling out of here, and I'll see you back here tonight for highest to lowest. Also, Twinless, film I really like, and the films that will kill your credibility. Speaking of that, that'd be highest to lowest. Mickey 17. Honora. There's a lot. We're going to talk about a lot of films tonight that if you think and you tell others that are good, your credibility is not just gone. It's eradicated for the remainder of time. You cannot get these things wrong. I don't want to hear, well, it's subjective. Don't you know? Right? I got to listen to all it. But don't you know that somebody else might think it's good, so maybe you were wrong? How about the person who thinks it's good is dumb as hell? How about that? How about they don't even know what constitutes greatness? They have no clue what they're doing. That's what we live in. We live in a world with people that have Burger King crowns on their heads calling themselves kings. You ain't nothing. You ain't never done nothing. Show me something. You can't tell me these films are good. Okay, I'm saving it for tonight. Listen, I'm wound up. I've got to go play volleyball today, and I'm going to win. I feel it. This is going to be a very good Sunday for me. I don't know about that, but I just feel it. Let me at least try to bring that into my universe. All right, Conjuring number 1, as we mentioned, 83 million, just at least doubling the projections on that film. Hamilton, 10 million, number 2. Weapons, number 3. Number 4, Freakier Friday. 5, Caught Stealing. The Roses is number 6. Fantastic Four, 7. And Bad Guys, 8. Light of the World debut, really bad, only 1,100 per location. Not good. And then you look at Superman, was number 10. I do like Twinless. I don't see it in the top 10. I will get the number on that for tonight, but it's not good. These small films, right, that aren't horror films, these dramedy in the case of a Twinless, you're talking about films that are struggling mightily because there's no windows, because people just say, I'll wait till I get them at home. I don't need to see them on a big screen. One of the reasons people go to see Conjuring on the big screen is obviously it's exclusive to big screens right now, but also they like the experience of communal horror and people screaming, even though if you scream to anything in this film, I don't know what to tell you. This is not scary. There's not one thing scary in this film. Not one. So I don't know what we're talking about here. Thanks for being here on this Sunday morning. We're back tonight for the most brutalizing suggestions that will make you pay a price of losing all credibility. That's coming up tonight, in addition to highest to lowest getting eviscerated and Twinless getting praised. That's tonight. Thanks for being here on MMT. We'll see you back here tonight. I'll read the comments on the way out. Peace out. Bye.